Well, what's the crack, everybody? Welcome to another buckshot for Friday the 4th of February 2022. Well, how are you keeping? Belfast tickets for the Limelight are going nicely, so get on it if you haven't already gotten it. Have a look down in the show notes. 23rd of April over in the Limelight with the mighty Kieran Bartlett opening for me. Very, very nice. And of course, as I said on the Patreon Ramblepod during the week, we will have tickets available for a Dublin show that we're going to be doing on May 5th in the Wild Duck. That's going to be fun. That's going to be nice. So they're starting to branch out. There's a few gigs of comedy clubs popping up around the country and all the rest of it. So keep an eye out on the socials, whatever platform you follow me on. I'll be updating it. If you do me a favour, if you're listening on Spotify right now, would you give it the 5-star treatment? The 5-star treatment. Give it a nice haircut and a wash. Give it the old 5-star review if you haven't done already. It just, you know yourself. Same on Apple. I don't know if you can do it on anything else, but we get those Spotify numbers up. That'd be lovely. Thank you very, very much. Of course, you know the crack of the Patreon. They would have gotten this last night. They would have gotten the video to today's as well. And they would have gotten an opportunity to be on the live show, which was last Sunday. And there'll be another one coming up in a couple of weeks. So, you know, there's gangs of stuff over there. Rakes and rakes of videos. You get everything early access. And if nothing else, if you have a pain in your bollocks or lady bollocks from ads, there's no ads over there. So, there you go. That's the crack with everything. You know, merch shop, the usual jazz. Have a look down the show notes if you want to have a gander at all them kind of things. By show notes, I mean the stuff that's written underneath this episode as you're looking for it. Now, moving on to today's guest, a hell of a man. I've been back 3 times to do his comedy club in Newry, and if you listen to any of the Ramble Pods where I talked about it, it's a special, special place. It hides great crack hanging out with Darren. Please sit back and enjoy, just like I did with Darren Matthews. Darren, what's the crack?
How are you, Tom?
I like, what jersey's that?
This is a retro San Francisco jersey. I thought I'd get on the old the colours for you just to help you settle.
The old Tipperary vibe. Yeah, it's not too many now would fucking be bothered their arse with it.
No. Well, this is cool as well because this is a proper, like, this is an old jersey. Look at that. Remember they had sleeves?
Oh, yeah. Back before lads started taking protein and getting fucking biceps and shit. Like.
Yeah, well, people are always saying, oh, you know, players now are, you know, much faster and much fitter. They're not. The jerseys are smaller. This was like running with a fucking parachute on. This is the only difference.
Well, there was a period there through like the early 2000s where some lads got fucking jacked. They all went fucking bananas in the gym, like thinking they were rugby players. I remember your man Paul Galvin could barely fucking run like he's with the legs. But yeah, I think it's kind of eased back a bit. Are you still hurling?
Yes, we've restarted. We've restarted with player-led sessions and a bit of 7-a-side and a bit of running about. So we're back doing that. I think this is last year, but I did get the venue that I run the gigs in to sponsor the team. So we're going to have nice jerseys this year with the venue on it. So it's very, very cool.
Which venue? Which one of the many venues that can run?
That is Sunflower.
Oh,
Sunflower
yeah.
in Belfast, where I do my monthly comedy club. The guy owns 2 bars, so he runs the Sunflower and the American bar. So we've got one on each jersey. There's a home and an away jersey. So
brilliant.
I'll get you a wee one when you're up to Belfast.
Yeah, I'd fucking love one. I'd love one because that was the thing. I remember there was a couple of lads when we did the LJ1 thing back in the day, like, and we all kind of hurled for a local crowd out there, but it was only fluting around. We're all pissheads. But what was funny was there was county players would come over for the summer and get paid a fucking ball of money to play for like Tipperary, Boston or whatever, like.
Yeah, there was many a man got away with that. I never did. Now the closest I came to that was when I was living in Toronto. I played for a team called St. Michael's, and I went to a couple of senior sessions, and I was like, I'm really here for the drinking lads. So I went and joined what was their junior team, and the guys were like, oh, we're the B team, but we rebranded as the Killer Bees, and it was one of the best summer's cracks I've ever had.
Were they just fucking hatchet men altogether?
Oh yeah, a load of Canadian lads, and then, you know, just lads like me who like loves the sport but are terrible at it.
Yeah, you wonder like what would be if you could actually implement the athleticism of lads from America like into something like hurling. Because is there a lad playing? Is he playing football for Sligo or something at the minute? He's an African lad, and he only picked up a ball like 4 or 5 years ago or something. He's gifted.
There's a young fella from Derry, I think it's Callum Brown. He's out playing Aussie rules. He started I think he was a soccer player. They taught him to play Gaelic. Now he's playing Aussie rules, getting paid for it. See, lads, see if you're a person that can do that, or if you're a young Irish person listening to this and you can get the money, go to New York, go to Boston, have the crack, enjoy life. Because I never got to do it, so go enjoy yourself, lads.
Yeah, Jesus. The first time I gigged with you, I'm not sure where I met you first. I probably met you in Lavery's, I'd say first, was it?
Yeah.
And
Probably.
then you opened the madness that is McCooey's. It shouldn't work, like. It shouldn't. I've done enough cafe gigs, after hours cafe gigs. Like in America, it works. You know what I mean? It works with the open mic scene, like especially for country music in Tennessee and stuff. A lot of them do that. But I've done enough cafe gigs to go, oh, this will be. But your McCooey's totally fucking works. It
does. It's for those of you that I'm from the border town that is Newry, or Ireland's largest off licenses. It's now known.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
If I'm coming down, do you want me to bring you a boot full of stuff?
Do, and I'll send you back up with fucking green diesel, because apparently Boris is fucking outlawing, of all the places, the north of Ireland, to fucking try and outlaw fucking agricultural diesel. Are you joking me?
Good luck. We'll make our own.
Yeah.
But so McCooey's is, as you say, a gig that you think shouldn't run, but as I said to somebody, Newry's a town of 40,000 people. We don't need 40,000. You just need 50 that are great crack.
Yeah. But they're all in it, like people who are well accustomed to going to stuff. Like that's something that, even though Newry is very southern in its vibe, do you know what I mean? There's parts of north of Ireland where you go, oh, this is definitely not fucking, Kerry. Do you know, just the architecture and stuff like that, with brick architecture and stuff that you just don't typically get down the way, like. But Newry, I found there's no winning them over. They're in it. Do you know that kind of way? Do people go to a lot of things in Newry, or are they just on the buzz, like?
Well, I mean, we've always had, like an arts centre and the town hall, and you would get touring comedians would come and do the kind of the big hotel in town. That would be your Tommy Tiernans and your Neil Delamere's and stuff. But I grew up there, and I used to play in bands, and I ended up running shows, because I always said that I don't think you're allowed to say, if you're from somewhere, you're not allowed to say it's shit here until you do something to make it better.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, that's a valid point. Yeah, I've only really started taking that on myself actually of late. Yeah.
So I took into running some shows when I was in bands, and then I transferred it when I started comedy. Like you said, if I was good at football, I wouldn't have to be a fucking stand-up comedian. But we transferred that over, and then, I mean, McCooey's was a lifesaver. McCooey herself, Leanne, the lovely owner, is my partner in comedy, and she saved my life, because I was running a gig which got cancelled with like 2 days' notice.
Ugh.
The old story of the bar being like, oh, I don't think we're going to make any money, so they just pulled the show.
And I was like,
what are you doing? It got to that point where the guy said to me, oh, I'm going to lose money. And I said, take it out of the profits of the last 6. You fucking, one of those ones.
Literally, you've just spoken many times on this podcast, but I swear to God, you literally just the blueprint of the amount of publicans I've fucking dealt with in the past.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'd love if more cafes did what you did. Like the bring your own beer thing works perfect, and it's actually it when you write it down, it's like, oh yeah, and you compare all the publicans we've all had fallings out with, like the last one, it was the exact same as that. I think, I don't know who was coming out to headline it or whatever, but it's myself and Danny O'Brien were running this one, and it was a pub, and I tell you one thing, it was rough. And the room in the back was perfect, but we were bringing people in that would never darken the door of this place. But yeah, man, gig 1, 2, 3, great. He was putting up the posters when we sent him out to him, Then from 3 onwards, he was kind of going, I'd say, like, we were down people the last day, were we? Because the tickets, the bar sales. I'm like, you're doing bar, like, he was making a mint, but all he wanted was to make more. And he started wanting to cut our money back, and then by the 6th one, then he went, yeah, fuck that. Not even a phone call. Like, I had to go into him because he wouldn't answer the phone, and fuck that. And I'm like, oh, you prick.
That kills me, because they never do it like straight after, or on the last night. They never go, we'll call it there, lads. They wait till you have somebody booked.
Yeah.
Then you're the time waster. And in the comedy scene, you want to work with good promoters. And then somebody, the rumor gets out, Tom fucking booked me, but sure, the gig never even happened. Then you're like, hey, hang on a second, I'm doing my work here. I'm doing my best. So.
But McCooey's has a good name now with the people around there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no question. But you see, it helps too that Leanne is into it. Do you know what I mean? She's into it, like. And Mrs. McCooey out the back, she cracks me up.
She's a legend.
She just cracks me up.
The whole kind of family business thing of it is great. And I get on great with everybody in the place. And, we stick the tickets up, people rock up. We were worried about the kind of Christmassy ones because we really hit our stride when we did the first one. The first one was in the back room. It was like 30 people. And from then on, it's been 50. And then we sell it like 3 weeks beforehand. It's always sold out 2 weeks beforehand because people know that they've got to a point where they trust us.
Yeah.
No matter who's on, just show up. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, there's a lovely atmosphere in the place. You walk in, you go, this is a fucking cafe.
Oh, yeah.
The lights go off, bit of tunes is playing, the cracks going, people are sitting beside strangers, they're a friendly bunch, and then MC's up and the game is on.
Well, now you say, the game is on and all the rest of it. But to the uninitiated, your arse is exposed as a comedian to the outside world, literally.
Which I'm surprised you came back after the first gig.
I came back because I was just a morbid curiosity to see what would fucking pan out. And I genuinely, because I love chaos and weirdness, and that was beautifully fucking weird that first night I was there. I really enjoyed myself. I drove down the road going, what did I just do? This is fucking fantastic. It was so weird. That, for anybody wondering, do you want to explain what the fuck happened that night? The first night I was there?
I think I was away doing a gig, and basically what happened was...
You were away. Shit.
Tom gets up the headline. Tom, had you been in Newry in your life before that, or you'd always just driven past it?
I had driven... I would lie if I said I'd been in Newry, but I think I may have, like, momentarily, if you know what I mean.
So basically, Tom gets up on stage, and as we said, it's the 50 lovely people that they're in the gig and the good stuff. But there is then the 39,550 each that's outside, and one of them spotted you through the window.
Yeah, spotted me.
And then he wanted
the
to talk to you.
entire front of the cafe is windows. It's not like there's a little window he looked in. The entirety. So when you're standing, you're like anybody walking past, you look in and you're just seeing the back of a man with a microphone talking and all the faces of 50 people looking directly at him. And this fucking, as they'd call him in Cork, prize langer decides he's coming in. And Leanne has had and he's still sticking his head in. And he does a dance outside the window, and I can see everybody's eyes. And there's no point in me continuing with material because I can see everybody's fucking eyes looking over my shoulder. I'm like, oh Jesus! And you're exposed. You can feel kind of exposed, like. And I look around. There's this fella in the Celtic jersey who's been on it. Like Celtic played at 2:00 that day or something. He's been fucking on it since before that. And he starts wanting to come in, and Leanne then is rowing with him. And he starts sticking his head in. And there's no harm in the fucker. He's just a clown, like. And I found myself actually sitting on the lap of a woman in the front row watching it all unfold. Because it went on for about 5 minutes. Like, there was just this fucking madness. And we're just laughing harder and harder. There was nothing I could do that would be funnier than that moment when I got up on stage afterwards. Like,
see why that's different as well for you is because, as you said, comedy is in the most literal sense, is a back to the wall art form. They're in front of you. And like we as comedians, we don't like when they're spread around. That's weird. You've got your back to the wall and you're projecting your show out. So if somebody can actually see the back of you,
yeah,
it's quite weird. It is disconcerting. You're like,
well, especially when he didn't pay in. It'd be one thing, like I've done shows in the round and you're like, okay, well, I better do a lot of spinning around here and talking around. But they've all paid in there and they're meant to be there. Not some fucking langball who's been on the fucking tenants since fucking 11:00, like.
And even with that madness, you're still the only person to headline the gig 3 times. So congratulations. Tom.
Oh, am I? All right.
Yeah.
And literally, the last time when I went back up, it was almost like an apologetic show up of everybody. I was like, were you all here the last time? They were like, we were. And then that was a great show. And I was back up a couple of weeks ago and I was like, were you all here the first time? And they're like, yeah, we were. And I was going, have we gotten a curtain? No, we haven't gotten a curtain or a blind.
But what's good is then that's people coming to see you because we get different people every month. It's got
do you? I thought you'd have your standard people back every month.
We probably have about 10 to 15 who do not miss. Like what my brother who you met, he's one of them. He fucking loves stand up. And And then we have when people are coming through, you got to come see this guy to get a bit of buzz. Leanne's brilliant advertising. I really couldn't do it without her. She's very prominent on social media, even if it's in the locality. She's an Instagram influencer, is our Leanne.
She is, yeah, she's very good on Instagram, yeah.
She's very funny. She's very funny anyway. She's a very naturally funny person. And then I get her up to do bits and pieces. And when I'm not there, I'm like, go on, Leanne, give it a bit of MC in there. So
I tell you that Mrs. McCooey was down the back and we were having a lovely chat. She fucking guzzling tea into me. And we're having a lovely, lovely chat. And then I says, right, I better go up here and do this here. So, and I go up like a fucking cannon, of course, like, because I had been speaking very politely to her and whatnot. Yeah. And it's not like I turn into Carrot Top up there or fucking whatever I turn into. But at the same time, there's a bit of energy. And it was only when I came back down, she had another cup of tea waiting for me. She was like, I wasn't expecting that. I'd forgotten that you were quite high energy. And it was like she was taken aback. I nearly felt sorry, like I was speaking to my nana about it or something. It was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so scary.
No, it's as you said, trying to change the perceptions of a place as well. There's a lot of people wouldn't have come to do the show or done shows themselves in the town. So it's just going, come on down, it's great crack. And then getting more comedians up from the south as well. I would really like to bridge the border more. There's people like yourself and Danny and Damien who come up and down. I'd love to get down to south more. But I don't like the idea that there's some sort of fucking comedy border. That's daft. We should be, we've all gigged all over the world. Why can we not get to Dundalk from Belfast?
It's an interesting one. Yeah. It is an interesting one. It's never spoken about. It's not, it's not like, oh, fuck that place or fuck this place. But I think then it's not just there. Like you'll get people who won't go out of Dublin. Like, you know what I mean? You get people who won't leave Cork. And I think that I'd say that's not exclusive to comedy. Do you know what I mean?
Or the other one where when somebody's having, going to get a good run and I message and say, hey, do you want to come up? And they're like, yeah. And then we talk, I'll cover, we talk monies. And I'm like, all right, lads, it's not euros up here. Settle down the fuck. All right? Yeah. It's not my fault you live in Dublin. All right. I'm not paying you that.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to you for putting on gigs, man. I was only talking with a chap today and he was talking about, now he's great, Paul Marsh, he's great for putting on gigs and stuff. And I was giving him all the suggestions and everything of different acts and stuff like that. And then I was just talking about different towns he could try. And fuck me, fair play. He'll go off and ring him and he'll book acts and stuff. But is there anything worse than booking acts? Like, because if it's somebody like who's used to working, I mean, they'll just sit in the car and show up on time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's when we were booking before and you're getting texts off people going, how do I get there again? You're like, I don't fucking know. Fucking fly. Yeah. Fucking get a horse. I like, seriously.
I try and come at it from a point of I make very little noise apart from when I'm on stage. I'm pretty quiet and I just show up. Hi, I'm here and I've got my little book with me. Have a cup of tea or a glass of water? Yeah, I'll be over here in the corner, just call. And then it's up when you're on. But getting myself there and doing all the prep, I have a full-time job, so swapping my shifts. I do all that. Nobody else needs to know about that.
No.
So doing all that. The only other thing as well is because I'm an act who books shows, I'm then hands-on, but I'm messaging people being like, hey, if you need anything, or let me know. But let me know and notice. Like when a gig sold out and somebody's like, can I bring 5 of my mates? I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But had you asked me this 2 weeks ago, absolutely no problem. But it's the juggling act of what I would do as an act and how I would like to be treated and fair pay and stage time and trying to get everybody going as well. But going from that, McCooey's, which I would now define as a pro room, which is great because
it's brilliant.
People are messaging now being like, can I do the gig? I'm like, aha. Because if I had a message to you about 2 years ago, you would have been like, not fucking going to Newry.
Yeah.
Versus when we're in Sunflower, which is, I do a thing which is 10 comedians, it's a tenner in, and everyone does 10 minutes.
Perfect.
Simple. 2-hour show, out the door. Great job. Break in the middle. McCooey's has the advantage of having pizza at halftime, and you can bring your own beer, which is just delightful. Sunflower's a licensed premises, so more of the traditional sense of thing. But people who are trying to start, I would use Sunflower. So if somebody's writing a show, say someone like yourself, or like a Mickey Bartlett or Shane Todd, the boys are writing a show, I'm like, bring your 10, do your stuff, I'll let you up for that. And then it's like playing in the first division to get into the Premier League. Come and do my gig, give me your best 10, see how you get on, and then you'll push on somewhere else. But then people are like, "Oh, can I come to your gig?" I'm like, "You ever been to the gig?" No, we'll do that first. Come down and look. Don't just see your mates told you it's brilliant. I'm like, no, come down and see. You need to. I'm sure when you were in Dublin, you must have went to every gig, even when you were on it.
All of them, every one of them.
You need to know the room and get fucking atmosphere. And
at that stage, I gigged in a bunch of places, you know, like Waterford and Cork and stuff like that. So, but even still, when I came up to Dublin, I would drive up to Dublin to go to gigs, like just to see, because I wouldn't for a second imagine. Like now, at the time, in fairness, comedy was rocking at the time. It was just the tail end of the Celtic Tiger was gone, but comedy was still rocking. You know what I mean? Like my first ever, my open spot at the International, I think it was Delamere, McSavage, Fred Cook, and Damo Clark.
That is McSavage. That lineup is unbelievable. Man.
Yeah, and I was the open spot in there. So, and it was, you know what I mean? And there was two shows. And sorry, Des Bishop was host.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just round the corner. You know, it was Astra. So not for a fucking second would I been emailing going, can I have a gig? You'd fucking show up, shake hands with the man and say, how are you? Yeah. You know.
It's mad as well trying to explain even just the psychology of comedy, which is a 4-hour podcast, which we're not going to get into. But just that stuff of how the room should be, your PA system, how your lights are, a raised platform, just those little things that make a gig. That when you walk into
can I suggest a window blind?
I look into it.
No, do you know what? Don't. It would ruin the fucking magic and the fear that's behind me all the time.
McCoo's on about a curtain actually, and I just thought of something there. I was like, I'll take it out of the profits of the last 6.
Perfect.
But
and where did you get your start then? Where was it when you were abroad?
No, I did 1 year in Belfast as an open micer. As everybody kind of started, I started around the time of a lot of comics who are really fucking kicking ass now, and then I basically immigrated. I went to Perth in Australia.
When was that?
That was 2012. I moved, so I started 2011.
Right.
I was 25 when I started. I think I was just sick of playing in bands, and I couldn't play guitar, so I needed something I could do on my own. So I went and gave it a bash. I brought one friend, my good friend Katrina McKevitt, came with me to my first gig in case it went terribly and I needed to get drunk and have a hug or something.
Yeah.
So she was nice enough to come with me. And I started there. And then when I went to Australia, I entered a couple of comedy competitions. As we all know now, comedy competitions are grim. But I just did them to be seen. And then people were like, oh, yeah, do you want to come and do 10? And then I went from 10s to 20s to hosting. I did a mining tour. That was probably the fucking weirdest thing I've ever done.
You did not, what, of all the fucking mines?
Of the mines. I did 3 tours of the mines.
Like something out of fucking sounds like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. I did a tour of the mines of Moria. Wait, tell me about these fucking hillbillies, man. That must have been fucking sexy, was it?
Hillbillies? It was a lot of people from fucking Tipperary.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Fucking rednecks who went out there to make a fortune, but then drink it all on the week they're off, like.
Have you put it this way? I flew to a gig. I was on the plane for 3 hours and I didn't leave the state.
Jesus Christ, when you think of it in that fucking text, like
you look out the window and you're like, oh, it's the surface of Mars. So you're going up. I did a Paddy's Day in a place called Onslow, Western Australia, and another Irishman in the place. And I went into the town, which is a crossroads, a pub, and a shop.
Crocodile Dundee stuff, like.
Crocodile Dundee stuff. I went in on Paddy's Day, and there was a lad sitting in the bar wearing a Leash jersey. So, of course there was.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Of course there fucking was.
Yeah. 499 Australians and one lad from Leash. So.
Scalded. Fucking burnt raw.
I never met a man from Leash in my life, and I've been to see Armagh play Leash in Leash.
They're not into much in Leash. They're just fucking not. They get a big blowout when a fucking electric picnic comes around. That's it.
I can't even slag them because I did a gig in Portlaoise a few years ago and it was really nice. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of people from here live here. I say live here, detained here, but you know. But no, I mean, that's how I started. Had you started while you were still working, or did you?
I was still working. I'd gone from construction. I'd gone into another field that I fucking hated because construction was falling apart. But yeah, I started, and then quickly afterwards, found a perfect excuse to. Well, I was on borderline driving my fucking car through the front fucking door of the place, like, because I was wanting to fucking kill everybody. I had temper issues back then. Well, not temper issues, but I had a fuse that was, it was no longer than an atom, my fuse. I was lovely most of the time, but one fucking wronging at all. And there was nothing but fucking wrongings in this company, like, and I would go fucking nuclear straight away, like. So
has comedy and dealing with public cammed you, or has being a daddy cammed you, or has the boss cammed you? I think
the boss, I'd say, has cammed me. Although she would still claim that I'm the boss, but I don't know. I mean, no, for sure it's a woman. It's always like, yes, and to further extent, you can't be a stomping around psychopaths. Yes, I do have an absolute fucking tornado inside my head most of the time, and I want to go through a fucking wall. But you can't project that onto a child. What sort of fucking psychopath do you want to, produce to the world? Like, so, no.
You haven't met my dad.
Oh yeah. See, this is what we learn generation on generation, is that you can't. But no, I'm much calmer too since I moved back down to Tipperary. I've noticed things that would fucking boil my piss don't anymore. I'm getting better. I'm getting much fucking better.
Tom, it's a country air. It's good for you. It is good for you.
It fucking is good for you. But I think it's see, a lot of people would have, I think, issue with maybe the isolation. Not that there's much, like, there's plenty of people on this road, like, but for the lack, like, when I look out my door, I see nothing but a bit of forest and fields. And if I look out the left of my door, I see the start of the Galtee Mountains. I could, like, Darren, I could piss out my front door. I can piss in my front garden and not be arrested. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is, like, okay, you might get the wife's fucking asking you a question or two, but at the same time, I think what I was never, I didn't realize I was slightly claustrophobic all the time. I think I'm much better even around people when I go and meet them now. But before, I didn't really, it must be a subconscious thing where it's just fucking continued. I didn't grow up in an urban environment, so I'm not fucking built for that. And I like to be able to swing my words around the place and not be worried that I'm going to offend anybody. So if I'm swinging a hammer and I go, you fucking cunt, I wanted to be able to adjust like I did now on my podcast. And I don't want somebody's head popping in over a wall going, everything all right? No, it's not all right. Fuck off. Like,
see, I feel I always like chatting with you and gigging with you, Tom, because I feel like even though we're from hundreds of miles apart, it's a very similar upbringing. Like, my dad's from a farm. I get this totally. And you talk about the difference. I grew up like in a housing estate in a little village, but it was also a really, really busy army base. So in the 80s and 90s, it was helicopters constantly. And then when I was 15, I moved out to my dad's house, and it was middle of nowhere, Armagh. Like, there's a main road somewhere off there. You occasionally hear a car coming down, but nothingness.
Lovely.
Peace. And it took me a while to get used to it, because I was used to every 2 hours the house shaking.
Yeah, holy fuck! Like, I mean, how do you get calm with something like that? How did you grow up? Because a lot of, like, what I noticed, a lot of the boys, they have heavily dark humor from the north, and it's like, it doesn't take fucking Sigmund Freud to work that one out. It's just, and it'll fade out in another generation too. People will get softer and softer, you know what I mean, as decades go by. And not even a generation, but a comedy generation, another 10 years to be softer and softer people, not softer. Do you know what I mean? The humor will soften, but because some of the boys' stuff hit like fucking on point, hilarious, but dark as fuck, like. And it's a throwback from when they were children. Things were fucking, like, they were fucking dire. Like, shit was dire.
I think it was but here's the weird thing: we didn't know that when you're born there.
Yes, I get you. Yeah.
There is a weirdness. There's a discomfort about the place. And you're like, what is happening? I remember going to visit my auntie in England, and the first thing I said, I was like, "Where's your soldiers?"
Really?
She was like, "No, Darren, that's only at home." I was like, "All right, but they're all English. Why?"
Oh, now you open a can of fucking worms.
Yeah, I was like, well, some of them are Scottish. I was like, oh, are we doing some sort of exchange happening, or? So we did that, but we had years ago, when I think it was probably the end of the 90s or the start of the 2000s. So after the Good Friday Agreement, but before the army had withdrawn, we had some kids up staying with us in school from Leixlip in Kildare.
Fuck.
And two of the lads were staying in my house, and I get shook awake at 2 a.m. And one of the lads was like, Darren. I was like, what? He goes, a helicopter just flew over. And I was like, what time is it? He goes, 2 a.m. I was like, go back to sleep. There's one at 4.
Really? They were over every fucking night?
Yeah, man. I'd say probably, I'd imagine trying to sell my ma's house in the 80s and 90s, it would have been worth about 500 quid.
Shit. Yeah, that would have been the time to swoop in and buy a load of property, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But now you can't afford to live at the border because everybody that works in Dublin lives in Newry.
That's what I mean. Like, it would have been the perfect time to swoop in when the choppers were there.
When you talk about as well the humor, I was chatting to Cork comedian Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's the crack with the humor? And I was like, you're dealing with an entire generation of people with PTSD that don't know they've got PTSD.
Yeah. Literally.
So we just dip into it and go, I'm going to say this and I don't care because it's not the worst thing that could have happened to me. So
that's, yeah. And I think, not that I PTSD or my stuff is overly dark or whatever, but I possibly do have PTSD from different fucking things. All right. But I have zero filter. I have no ability. And it gives me a pain in my chest if I have to put a filter on myself. And I think that's what it slips in nicely to the northern lexicon. They're like, oh, this fella's fucking warped in the head just like us, even though he's joking. Because I'm never going to start. Like, after that gig in McCooey's, one of the lads some chap came up to me. He says, I really like that. I said, thanks very much. He said, you didn't do any northern related stuff, which was, refreshing. Like, I went, well, what in fuck's name would a fella from South Tipperary be doing? I mean, you'd have to go quite a way back for our around here to be relevant to the acronym IRA. It's probably about 100 years, actually. And I says, I'd have no business. And it would be so fucking crowbarred in if all of a sudden I was going, I mean, they're like in Lurgan, right? What the fuck am I? No. And it's not like I'm coming from fucking Taiwan and trying to educate you on Taiwan. It's down the road for all the world. You have hurling in Newry, for fuck's sake. Like,
yeah. Also, we have it that I think that's funny as well because you and I are probably from, I don't know if there's many more in the south, but definitely the only counties that describe themselves as having a north and a south and being different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's in my subconscious to say that when people say, where are you from? I go, oh, South Armagh. Armagh is tiny. It doesn't need a north and a south.
It doesn't, but it's something you do hear. You do hear that Tipperary was divided in two. It was technically one county, but it did have a divide up until fucking maybe 6 or 7 years ago. The number plates and everything were TS and TN.
That was a big deal, wasn't it? It was because it used to be like this. It was it the city and the county was the only division ever, and Tipperary were like, no, two fucking.
Yeah, no, it's just two. It was like two counties. There was two county councils, and you could tell that you were after hitting North County Council because the roads were pure shit. Like, because it connected to Offaly, and never drive through Offaly without a 4x4. I'll just tell you that now.
Weirdly enough, that used to be my joke about how we knew we were in the south.
It was like, yeah.
You come off the motorway in Fermanagh and you just smash into Leitrim and roll your car into Sligo, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, in fairness, I've taken that road before from down Enniskillen down that side. Oh my Jesus Christ Almighty, that was a fucking wake up for the senses. But yeah, it used to be divided. I don't know. I've asked a bunch of people, and they've said it was granted to like two brothers or whatever, and they fucking fought. Or I've never gotten a straight answer, but they dissolved it anyway. They dissolved it, but now of course people are fucking raging because like there was 20 million due to Tip Town this year, and it fucking needs it. Yeah. But it's they pulled it and went, no, we're going to give it to Nina, and they're like, what the fuck, whereas that would have never happened before. Like, so
would there be a fair stereotype to say any county that has the county's name in the town, it's probably not the best town in the county?
It's nearly always the way. Like Longford, Carlow. Yeah.
Anywhere that's got the name of the county in the town, I'm usually like,
And you look at this, like you'd see the surrounding towns around here are from it, like Cashel and Cahir. They're like something out of Disneyland. Yeah. Stunning looking place. Now they do have big, well-preserved medieval castles planted right in the middle of their fucking towns, which does help. But Tipperary is one of the most famous fucking names because of that song. And, they just...
Which, by the way, also isn't about Tipperary.
No, I know. It's about a fucking...
this rumor immediately.
It's a fucking...
London.
It's about a fucking brothel that was apparently fucking called the Tipperary. which is a hilarious name to fucking give a brothel. It's like, I wonder who your clientele are.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. But I think from that, I mean, at this point, you're bound to have gigged in. Have you done every county? You have to.
Every county. Every county. We went through it. We went through it during lockdown. Myself and herself, one of the days we sat down and I was just going, because but also I've been nearly on every fucking road on this island just through construction. Do you know, whether we were pricing jobs or you're bringing a trailer as well, that's slightly illegal. You come down the back roads, you know. So
I wouldn't know about that.
Of course, yeah. You wouldn't be from Newry. You wouldn't know about these kind of things, yeah.
Turf in the 90s. Okay.
But she was asking, she goes, do you reckon you've gigged in every county? And we went through it and I was going, I don't think so. But when we went through it, turns out I'd gigged in every fucking county in Ireland. It'd be amazing to be able to do a tour of it. But some of the gigs were more forgettable than fucking other gigs, like, you know, you
have to do I did do that.
Yeah, physically she had to go around a map of Ireland, go, were you, and name towns that were in that county, because I was like, no, I don't think. I did. But bizarre places have amazing fucking crowds too, like, you know, like Roscommon, amazing, fucking amazing crowds. Do you know, you go to Waterford, forget about it, forget about putting a gig on in Waterford.
I think you have that difference of there could be places, say like Newry, where comedy doesn't always happen, and people are either going to be so up for it and back it all the way, or they're going to be like, who's these pack of dickheads think they're funny. I've had that happen to me. I did a load of tour shows with Farmer Michael, Steve Timothy.
Oh yeah.
And some of them were brilliant, and other ones I was like, I'm gonna beat up somebody in the car park. This is fucking tough going.
Yeah, what's that like? I've never seen it, because he has a couple of acts on, and it's himself. Yeah. And now is it the new girl comes out with him now? And
yes, I haven't seen. So this will be the rebooted show,
the new generation.
It was all supposed to happen in January, but obviously that fucked everybody. So everything got moved. But the previous ones have been lovely. Like doing the waterfront in Belfast, sold out the Millennium Forum in Derry last year or 2 years ago. It was a brilliant gig. The show was conversational, but there's traditional stand-up beforehand to be like, it's a show, so it's
okay.
And I'm usually the MC, because if I'm in the north, I've got all the local colloquialisms, and if I'm in the south, it's some sort of exotic. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, hey, remember us? Woo.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It is great to see it. I mean, I would have been reticent in the past of anybody who became famous from the internet, and then all of a sudden they're on a stage and you're like, how can this translate? But clearly, I mean, huge fucking audience member. So I take my hat off. Like, it was pointed out to me before. I was like, well, you're not a fucking comedian if you're fucking... And it was pointed out to me before. I think it was at a round table with Chris Rock and a few more. And the same question came up. Are you a comedian if you're not a stand-up comedian? And it's a question that would come up because stand-up comedians are so fucking egotistical. Like, anyway, but in fairness, Chris Rock went, yeah, of course. Are you going to tell me that Will Ferrell is one of the funniest people on the fucking planet and he doesn't do stand-up? I was like, that's a valid point. That's a very valid point. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, I mean, if you're doing that sort of stuff, what's coming up? Here we now have the ease of restrictions. I know in the south you're reopening.
Yeah.
Can you start planning, or are you still quite hesitant?
So I'm a bit hesitant myself, to be honest with you. It's because the venues are all over the fucking map. Like, even trying, but like any venue I spoke to in the last week or so, like they're trying to crowbar in fucking, you know, Monday in between fucking Christy Moore and fucking Sharon Shannon. You're like, okay, all right, you work away. There's a big backlog of huge names who they've, you know what I mean? They've just got the big dick swinging power. They're just going to go, sorry, because they know they'll pack out the University Concert Hall in Limerick with 1,100 fucking heads. You know, no problem. You know, and all send them away, delighted, happy to come back for another one. You know, that kind of way. So, unfortunately, I'd say it'll be the summer realistically before I can start looking into it. So that's why I went with the Limelight. I just went, fuck it. At that night in McCooey's, because Shane was going, fuck me, they're all here for you. He could, you know, and I went, but it would seem I have a small cohort of people in McCooey's that seem to like me or whatever in Newry. And he says, why don't you just do a show, man? And he suggested the Limelight. So I went, all right, I'll message them, see what they say. And they were like, yeah, here's a date.
Yeah. Look, you've done enough in Belfast, and I think probably the people in Newry catch on to the same way I do, where we get on because we're all just a pack of raw bastards. We're not really designed for fancy living in the towns, and we're not. Even though it's a town, we're not proper townies. It's not fancy, but we like that.
Yeah, to be fair, there's almost nowhere in the entire island. I think anyway. You'll get a few fucking knobs that'll for a moment think that they're actually walking in a real life Instagram fucking life. And you'll go. And then but eventually they grow up too and they go, oh, for the love of Jesus. It's like Cork's not big enough. Limerick's not big enough. You'll get called out for Limerick. You know what I mean? Especially like they go, what the fuck you doing? They will pull you up. Dublin, there's small pockets of Dublin that are in Fantasyland, but they have enough wealth around them and other people. But a small, like we did a I hosted this thing that was like, thank God I'm at this so long that you wouldn't fucking take anything away from it. Like, but because it could destroy anybody else if they were fucking too new at it. But I was asked to host this thing. Well, they said you can do whatever you want. You have a half an hour slot at this mini festival in the Ivy Gardens. And it's where the Vodafone Festival in Dublin is held, and stunning fucking setting, stunning. And you have a half an hour and you can do stand-up, you can do whatever you want. And it's Taste of Dublin, right? It's the name of this festival. It's a complete wank. Like,
hi, I'm Tom from Tipperary.
Yeah. And to say that I had no business there fucking was an understatement. And everybody's going around and you're literally, these people look like they've all bought tickets to Fire Festival. You know what I mean? And guys with haircuts that you're going, you're too young for that haircut. Like, you know what I mean? What are you doing with a giant quiff and a velvet coat? You're fucking 22. You know what I mean? Like these, and they're all
Tom, you have a mullet, glass houses.
I know, but I think we can all
ironic. I'm doing this ironically.
Exactly. I think we can all do it. I'm doing this knowingly that it's fucking ridiculous, and it will get cut off at some stage. But it was hilarious, and it was all these. I was expecting a real expo of food, you know what I mean, and it wasn't at all. There was it was mostly like fucking, fancy gins and stuff like that, and there was a few cooking demos, and there was a huge band. It was just a corporate piss up. Corporates get all the tickets, and they get a few that's all it was. It was just people from Deloitte, KPMG, fucking all just huge name fucking companies. Like, and myself, I said, I'm fucking doing stand up at this shit. I knew I was not a hope was going to do stand up, and we were this last slot on the stage after his cooking demo had gone on before us with some TV chef or whatever. And we just sat I brought Paul Marsh with me. I know that just to spite him, I brought another South Tipperary fucker with me, and he does the cooking when he's in the firehouse because he's a fireman. Like, and we just talked. I just had a bunch of silly subjects about cooking people, like cooking. Literally, I had subjects from like cannibalism to eat bacon and cabbage to just see could I weird people out. A handful of fucking weirdos joined us and sat there for a while, like as we were being blasted out of by a band next door. Like, but it was And Marsh, in fairness, Paul was kind of taking it like a real gig and stuff. I was like, no, Paul, we're getting paid. This is fine. This is going to be. Let's just move our mouths for half an hour. Let's
just chat to these people. Don't be wasting the material.
We didn't even, honestly, I didn't even talk to them. It was, they need not have been there. At one point, two lads were having a chat, and I kind of, whatever way I looked at them, I went, oh, I'm sorry. I went, oh, no, I don't care. I just happened to look in your direction. Keep going. I'm going to stay talking to Paul about fucking chicken fillet rolls. Anyway, Paul, continue. It's just, if you were had any less stage maturity, you might have gone, oh Jesus, this is a dreadful gig.
Yeah.
I went there with no hope for my ego to be pumped, for my ego to be deflated. Neither. I just went, I'm showing up because I don't mind talking out loud in public. That's it.
Weird gigs. I presented the Vietnamese Comedian of the Year award, which was a comedy competition.
Tell us about it.
I presented it in Ho Chi Minh City, or Saigon as it used to be known, in my Newry City football top and a pair of shorts, and it was in a brewery, so I was given free rein, and I had a great day. I'm not sure if they enjoyed it, but I had a grand old time.
You were steamboats, obviously, like.
After there was an after party, and pretty much the promoter had given me that there was like a lovely lady called Quinn who was like my handler. She was like, I'll take you for food, I'll show you the nice bars, we'll go meet the other comedians. And I was like, thank you. Just being led around the city by this lovely lady being like, go get a beer. I was like, okay, back in a minute. So yeah, but I did the gig. I basically emceed in between and then announced the winners, and it was great crack and weird at the exact same time because all the finalists were school teachers, American school teachers, and I was, I immediately lost them because I was all, oh, this is great to see how these have all kind of, moved on. No, okay.
Oh, come on! That was my first thought. Was like, Jesus Christ Almighty! Like,
no, it's okay because look, think of it this way. It was a comedy is tragedy plus time. So that gig is now a piece of stage for now. So it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, you think you're having a good night? Let me tell you about a night I wasn't having a good night to make your night even better. So yeah.
Listen, the amount of times where I've gone, do you want to hear about a shit gig just for the crack?
So
Especially if I'm hosting.
It'll be a story in the new show, so it's good. It's translated somewhere, so it's not too bad.
Fucking lovely. And what? Tell me this: what other? You have another club then? It's Deer's Head.
That is for a couple of wee one-offs.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So there's a lovely one I'm doing. Well, I'm actually running it. I'm not even on. So I've got a bunch of the lovely lady comedians up here in Belfast, and I've put them all on their own show, and it's selling victims. So that's going to be probably done by the time this goes broadcast. So happy days. And then on the 13th of February, I have beer tasting with a comedian 2, Beer Harder. So that was one we did last year, and we got about 50 people at it. Your ticket price includes your beer. We do a beer tasting, and then it pretty much becomes like a game show, but it's very fun. And the prizes are drink. If you haven't figured out, you just win beer. Everyone gets a raffle ticket. I draw the names. There's quizzes. There's fucking necking it rounds. There's all manner of madness, but it's good fun. It's not my traditional hour of stand-up. I'm going to do that later in the year. This is just a little fun thing that I can do, and I might take it on the road and go to a couple of breweries.
And where is that? Is that going to be in?
That one's for the Deer's Head. So that's the Deer's Head on the 13th of February, which is a wee Sunday. So it's like Super Bowl Sunday. We're starting at 6. We'll be done by about 9, and then I'll head home with a few tins and watch the football. And
can tickets be gotten online, or is it at the door?
Tickets are online on Eventbrite. So just Deer's Head Belfast and beer tasting with a comedian.
I'll put it in a link in the show notes anyway.
Legend.
Listen, Darren, this has been an absolutely lovely catch up. Now I just want to go up the road to Newry all of a sudden, just start fucking selling you diesel or swapping it for fucking beer or whatever. Have you? Was there a fucking run on the off license there?
Yes, there was an upswing. So.
Of course there fucking was.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on about for years they've been trying to build a bridge between Warrenpoint and Omeath.
Yeah.
So it would be north-south link, and I'd say that will be getting a wee kick up the arse to get done even quicker now. But yeah, Newry will be hiving. It'll be the only place in the world doesn't hit a recession.
Fucking beautiful. Listen, Darren Matthews, this has been absolutely lovely. Thanks a million.
Lovely chat to you, Tom. Take care.
Cheers, dude. My thanks again to Darren. So 13th of February, get after it. Like I said earlier in the show, if you would please subscribe, rate on Spotify if you can, and share. If you want to do a bit more, come on over, support the show, join the Patreon revolution. Down in the show notes as well. Again, those 2 shows so far for Clattered, my brand new show, are April 23rd in Belfast at the Limelight. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Saturday night, come on away up, lads, we'll have the crack. And then, of course, if you can't, on the 5th of May, I'm going to be over in the Wild Duck in Dublin. There'll be a few more days pop up around the place, but don't worry. That's what's there for now. Look it. Mind yourself, lads. Have a lovely weekend. And I'll talk to you again next week. Good luck, God bless and thanks.